Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump is headed to Michigan this afternoon. He'll be speaking at the DeltaPlex Arena today.
We told you earlier in our show that Donald Trump is now expected to speak at 1:45. We do have team coverage at the DeltaPlex in anticipation of his speech. Let's start with our political reporter, Rick Albin. Rick?
Well, the crowd has filed in, and I don't know that they've gotten that word yet that this may be put off. It probably won't matter a great deal. Just about 30 minutes ago, we had a new speaker up at the podium who was whipping the crowd into a frenzy. And when I say new, it's Congressman Bill Heisig. And Congressman, up until this point in this campaign, we haven't seen you at a lot of Trump events. Is this an evolution, or is this ultimately what Republicans and Democrats alike do in the last weeks of the campaign?
Well, actually, I was there when Mike Pence came to town. This is the first time I've been here when Trump has been here. But at the end of the day, I had said back months ago that I would, before we even had a nominee, that I would support the nominee. I would vote for the nominee. And frankly, everything that's been going on has just reinforced that with what Hillary Clinton has done with the emails and this taint of scandal that just surrounds them is not going to go away if and when she were ever elected. So at the end of the day, Rick, it's about a philosophy and it's about a Supreme Court and what this next president's going to do to affect our country for the next 40 years.
I heard the arguments that were being made up on the stage and talking about all of those things that we've talked about for a long time. But let me ask you about something a little different. Without regard to what happens in this election, what does your caucus look like in Washington when you go back? Because you don't have to look too far from here to people that hold the same position you do, who are in your party, who say never Trump. And then there are others who have been very much on board in a very big way. Does that create a chasm when you guys go back, win or lose?
Well, I think, unfortunately, either way, whatever's going to happen in this election, we are not going to see a whole lot of healing as a nation. And whoever does win, both at presidency and leaders in the Senate and the House, are going to have to work very hard to heal the internal strife that's occurred in both parties. I mean, you got Bernie Sanders folks who are in the never Hillary camp, and you know what we're going to do to make government function for people is the key element here. So we're going to have to, well, let's put it this way: it's not going to be done Wednesday morning, that's for sure, and we're going to have to work very hard and diligently to make sure that we heal the rifts that the nation's feeling right now.
Congressman, as always, thanks for your time. Thanks very much. Maybe some of the best analysis of the race. It won't be done Wednesday morning. Truer words never spoken. This rally, as we say, we think has been pushed back by about an hour and 45 minutes, but we'll be here every step of the way nonetheless with complete coverage later today. And of course, we have more coverage even as we speak. I'm live at the DeltaPlex. Rick Albin, 24-Hour News 8.
Okay, Rick, thanks for the live report. Let's head over to 24-Hour News 8's Joe LaFurgey now. He's live outside the DeltaPlex with more on the crowds that turned out to hear Mr. Trump. Joe?
All right, so yeah, call it the Donald delay, as we've been telling you for the last couple of minutes. The event, Donald Trump's part of this event pushed back to about 1:45. If you're not here yet, chances are you won't have trouble getting in. As you can see, there's really no line here outside the DeltaPlex. Most folks arrived earlier, are inside already. Getting here might be a challenge, however. As you can see, the entrance to the DeltaPlex has been closed down by police. That's because the parking lot is full right now. So if you are headed out, if you're not here yet, but decided to head out anyway, you have to find a parking spot elsewhere down Turner Avenue or one of the other lots in this location and walk in. Now, earlier today it was quite busy outside the DeltaPlex. Lines stretched out the door and around the building earlier. Some folks got here last night so they get a good seat on the floor of the DeltaPlex. You know, there's been a lot of talk about the undecideds in this election, but it appears the folks we talked to are not among them.
He is a businessman, not a politician. And I think through his past experiences that he'd be able to help our nation get back on track.
Now, I talked to the Kent County Sheriff's Department about 11 o'clock this morning. They put the crowd estimate on the inside at about 4,000. Keep in mind the DeltaPlex holds about 7,500, but there has been a pretty steady stream of folks coming in right up until the noon hour to get inside here. So we'll see if those numbers actually change throughout the afternoon. We will, of course, be live. Right now, live in Walker, Joe LaFurgey, 24-Hour News 8.
Okay, Joe, thank you for that.
Yeah, and of course, the start time is pushed back a little bit. More people could show up. Joe, thank you.
We'll carry Trump's speech live on woodtv.com, and we'll have full coverage tonight at 5, 6, and 7.